Hello colleagues, today is Tuesday, October 20th, and I'm greeting you today on the Rockville campus at the Math and Science Center here in Macklin Tower. As you can see behind me, this is a busy hub of student engagement as students are working through the very significant curriculum that we offer here at the college and having support structures to do it. I have to say these learning centers are one of my favorite things at our institution. Speaking of students, I'm excited to share with you, as I did at last night's board meeting, that we have two of our students, I believe in our Hillman Entrepreneurs Program, who are invited to pitch their ideas for a startup in a competitive Maryland program. This was a bus tour that had entrepreneurs and venture capitalists who were able to hear. The finalists from those rounds will be invited to consider submitting a final application for consideration and funding. So that's a very exciting thing, but to know that two of our own students were part of that is quite exciting. In addition to that, 50 of our students and some faculty and staff were able to go to the Gaithersburg campus of Lockheed Martin, where they had the opportunity to hear about the current state of cybersecurity and all of the efforts that Lockheed Martin does in terms of our country's safety as it relates to cybersecurity, but also what the future career options are in cybersecurity. I thought that was a wonderful opportunity. It makes our education real, but it also speaks to the tight partnerships that we have as a community college with businesses in our community. And to keep our students actively engaged around board issues, we're continuing to talk about issues as it relates to achieving the promise. And last night's faculty Senate joined the Senates and the Faculty Council joined the board in constituent conversation around the successes as it relates to students learning here at Montgomery College, our own scorecard, where are the gaps and how do we start to fill those gaps, and most importantly, if we are to continue to focus on that 59% of students that I've been talking about all semester, what do we have to do as an institution to respond to that? It was a truly rewarding conversation. So grateful to all the constituents. Next month, the board will be speaking with our students, so I'm very excited about that. In other board news, I submitted a board report where I talked about a number of issues, but in particular, I spent quite a bit of time talking about the pathways into Montgomery College. How do we onboard students? How do we admit them? How do students navigate a very complex matriculation process to actually get to classroom on the first day? It was very eye-opening, and also I included a video that talks about the student experience. So I'm very excited about that, and as we start to look at these pathways and intentionally carve them out for our students, it's going to be imperative that we reflect on what we do very well, hold those points, but also think about the improvements we need to make for the future. The board approved several contracts last night. In particular, they renewed a contract for our inter-campus shuttle. Very exciting about that because we know that that allows students to move between campuses to take classes. It helps us more effectively guide our academic planning around scheduling, but it also helps students secure courses that they need across the institution. Very excited about that. And then we also had the board approve a contract to repair what I believe is a 50-year-old equipment that we have in our planetarium. We know this program serves, our planetarium serves multiple programs in our STEM area, but it also is a very popular program for people in the community to come and be a part of the offerings of our planetarium. So thank you so much to the board for approving that. That is our Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus. The last thing I'd like to say is that we also discussed next year's capital budget. The board heard a first presentation speaking to the budget that we will be submitting to the county executive and the county council for consideration as it relates to our capital projects. And keeping with that, we are continuing to emphasize the importance of the Student Services Building at the Rockville campus and how the state needs to continue to advance that. Thanks to all of you who've been active parts in that role, helping to guide tours, having thoughtful conversations, and as we move into the advocacy period, we're going to see more and more of that company. I hope each and every one of you is having a wonderful semester. I hope that you're also taking time to enjoy the wonderful activities. I understand this week is Humanities Week, so I would hope that you're taking an opportunity to remember why we do this work. It's about hopefully impacting the human experience, all of which the humanities help us do each and every day. It's midterms, I know it's crazy, but most importantly, I hope that you all are having a good semester and taking care of each other while we take care of our students. Thank you and be well.